What's up guys, Smallishbeans here, and today I'm going to be doing another one of my little tutorials. Everyone seemed to like my castle one, so I thought, you know what, let's try something again. This time we're going to be building trees. Yes, that's right, just your standard old trees, but lots of different variants of it. Use trees a lot when building, so I think this is going to be quite helpful for a lot of people, and I'm just going to show you how I like to build my trees of all different sizes. So this is how I like to build most of my trees. I just place the sapling and do the... I'm joking. This is not actually the tutorial, I promise. We're going to be teaching you how to do trees like this. So seeing as Halloween is coming up, I thought I'd start with some Halloween themed trees at the beginning. And first off, a small Halloween tree. So this tree only took about 2 minutes or so to build. Very, very quick and easy. All you have to do is make sure you have some roots in there. Roots are very important. Make sure you got some wiry branches. And I added in some like yellow vines to just make it look a bit more interesting. As you can see, it's turned out quite nicely. So like I said, yeah, you want these wiry branches. You just go wild with these. The logs have to be facing a certain way. The more different ways it faces, the better, in fact. And yeah, it's a very simple thing to make, and you can just have many different variations of these. And yeah, just let your creative juices flow. Just add these around any Halloween builds you're planning on doing, stuff like that. Now, the bigger trees take a lot longer to make. As you can see here, you want to start out by making the huge trunk of the tree before you worry about branches or roots. And as you aren't going to add any leaves onto this, you want the branches to be as wiry and cool looking as possible. Now, the same goes for the roots. You want to do different shapes, different sizes of roots. Maybe have some go into the ground, then come out again. And different thicknesses, different widths of each one. Just go wild with them. Seriously, just like try mess around with them, see how it looks, and then you can always change it if you don't like it. The same goes for the branches. You want to have just big, huge branches coming off and spiraling around, doing like little cool patterns and stuff. Just add logs on after log. You can make this as big or as small as you want. You want a few branches, not too many, and you don't want it to be too compact, as you want to make it look like the tree is dead and all the leaves and stuff and branches are falling off and it's just the main bits of the tree that are left. Once again, I added some vines on to make it look a little bit more prettier, and you can also like bone meal the ground and change the grass maybe texture to like a sort of purpley texture, as I did in a build before where I made a huge tree at the centerpiece of my Halloween town, and you can see I'm using a sort of purple texture grass for the ground. Now, normal trees are a lot more boring to build than these type of trees, as you need to use leaves on them. But let's start out with a small tree. Now, you want to do with the roots pretty similar to the other Halloween-y type tree, except maybe not as wiry and just less sporadic. As for the branches, it doesn't really matter that much as you're going to be covering them up with leaves, so just go wild with the branches. Adding the leaves, however, you can just go wild with. You don't want to do it too square. I'll give you some quick examples of some bad looking trees. You don't want to build them too triangle-like, as it just looks weird. You also don't want to build it symmetrical, as trees just look weird when they're symmetrical. And square trees are just look at it. Just don't build trees like this, okay? Please, for the love of everyone. In fact, here's what I say to those type of trees. Just good riddance. So here's what you want your tree to finally look like. You kind of have like some random branches. If it looks a bit weird, just fix it up a little. You just want leaves randomly all over the place, and it just looks like a normal tree that you'd see out in the wild. And you can do different variants of these and have them around your map. Now, when building a huge oak tree, I want to make sure the trunk is wide at the bottom and thin at the top and just gradually gets wider. But I don't want it to just be completely symmetrical. I make it a bit different by adding in random blocks. Then the roots, I also just go crazy like on the Halloween tree. Roots just look awesome. You kind of big ones, wide ones, thinner ones, small ones, every type of root. The branches really don't matter that much. As I said before, you're going to be filling this up with leaves, but you want to make it very dense so it's easier to place these leaves on. You want to make sure that you've got plenty of space for leaves, but the majority of this is not going to be seen by anyone apart from you. So here's the main structure of the tree. As you can see, it's a lot more dense than this tree over here, which is more wiry. You've got to have like a lot of thick branches, as you've got to place a lot of leaves, and this is the boring part, let me tell you. Now, adding on the leaves can be quite a boring and long process. Basically, you just got to cover the entire branches with leaves, even fill in some spaces so there's no gaps in the tree. Although you can leave little gaps, it doesn't really matter. As it is in real life, there's just gaps in the leaves as it's not completely dense, but you just want to pile on these leaves this will take a long time. I like to watch a TV show while I do this. I was watching Friends while I built this. Kicking it back, old school, I know. And you can use these sort of trees for anything you want. Like, I just normally have them just around because they look cool. Another thing to make your tree look better is you can add vines in, and you can also decorate the underneath. So I add water and bone meal the ground, and it just adds to the look of the final tree. So here is the tree fully finished. As you can see, I've added in some little leaves down below, the vines, the water. It's starting to look great. These type of trees are like really easy and straightforward to build. They do take a long time, but it's just kind of cool and easy to build because you can just make it unique and make it your own. You can't really go wrong that badly unless you really mess it up and make it like really tall or really thin or whatever. I like to use these sort of trees when I build like tree houses, but the tree house you have to place in the middle and then build around it. So make sure you do that if you build yourself a tree house. And look how pretty it is down here. I feel nice and safe in the bottom of my tree. I'm a bit close right now. But yes, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. I hope it was somewhat helpful for you guys on how to build some cool looking trees in Minecraft. Let me know in the comments if you want to see any more tutorials on things in the future, and I will get on that. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and comment, and I'll be back another time for another video. Goodbye.